Our first speaker, and I'm not going to go into much detail about the speakers because I think it will come out during their presentations, I will introduce is from Canada, and that is Toby MacDonald. And Toby, we welcome you here. We know you have had a long trail dealing with the prevention of asbestos-related disease, and it's a very personal one to you, I think, starting with your daughter in school, and we appreciate you taking the time to share your story with us. So with that, Toby, thank you.
Hello, my name is Toby MacDonald. I graduated as a registered nurse in 1992. I'm a fierce, protective, supportive mother of two, now an asbestos advocate since 2018. The asbestos breaches that were a real wake-up call to many of us here in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, which is on the east coast of Canada. In 2018, when I was made aware that there were a number of breaches that occurred with asbestos as well as lead at my daughter's high school, the situation was downplayed and dismissed as an inadvertent situation, as officials said they were not aware that the area contained asbestos due to a mislabeled diagram. As a parent, I took for granted the thought that my children would never be put in harm's way at their school. You can remove the slide. Finding out students were exposed to asbestos in 2017 was overwhelming. Then finding out the information was withheld from parents by government officials was shocking. Staff were given the benefit of finding out in a timely manner. Parents were not given that same courtesy. Communication with parents was severely lacking. I believe this was a betrayal of trust. Breaches were leaked via social media. We had high level of assurances by public officials who basically said, trust us, all while dismissing concerns of students and parents. As a parent who was finding out that there's no safe level of asbestos exposure, this raised many concerns. I started by emailing all the sitting government officials in our province and encouraged others to do the same. Students even started a petition to stop renovations due to their concerns. We received little information from government. We asked for all the testing that was done. We received one. This was the beginning of learning how to file Freedom of Information requests. As a result, some things that we learned. I found an email that was dated a year prior to the breach to let us know that the government officials were aware there was asbestos in that area. The asbestos breaches were much more extensive than what we were told. One of the breached areas didn't even have asbestos testing done. In another breach area, cleaning occurred prior to testing. Even after cleaning, asbestos dust samples were in the millions. Controls appeared not to have been immediately put in place. Here's a quote from one of the meetings on March 10. I won't name the company. Discovered this on Wednesday, but as of this morning, there still were no controls put in place for our protection. We asked for this to be rectified, and we were assured it would happen. Cleaning occurred as well prior to testing after two other dust events occurred. Dust events that caused students to have to leave the building. 4 meetings I had to get permission to attend to be able to ask questions were nothing short of disturbing. Many of the questions were left unanswered. Some information were not offered. Parents were blamed for the 3 Senior High School renovations being in the media. After these meetings abruptly ended, the only information we were able to get was through the Freedom of Information. Some we still have not received as of yet, and others were heavily redacted. A report from an occupational health and safety investigation in March of 2017 is one of the main reasons why I continue, and I pushed for a registry. And it quotes, approved ACM protocols were not implemented, and workers of this employer, as well as school custodial workers and other people in the building, were exposed to asbestos fibers. ACM was transferred from the English language school board demolition site into the adjacent sections of the building. As my advocating stubbornness, I was invited to attend an asbestos conference in Toronto. I took the chance and I learned lots. While in Toronto, I met a reporter and she actually did doc projects as well as an article on Three Oaks Senior High School, and both were released in November 2019. Students and parents held protests. We would go and sit in our legislature gallery and show displeasure with the lack of information being communicated and released. More needs to be done for the students that were present. I was invited to sit in legislature gallery on November 14th, 2019, as a motion that prohibits construction that could result in the release of dangerous particulates in school with children present was passed. This was brought forward by Trish Altis, my MLA, and Carla Bernard of the official opposition of Prince Edward Island. This motion was inspired by the breaches of Three Oaks Senior High School in hopes that it would never happen again. Since early on, I have been petitioning the government to implement a Three Oaks Senior High School registry that would allow for medical monitoring, and the registry was implemented this year in 2022, maintaining student information for 50 years. Unfortunately, our government has fallen short and the registry doesn't contain any education or medical monitoring aspects as we requested. This is concerning. We believe as concerned parents, we had the right to request a timely, rigorous review of the Three Oaks Senior High School renovations. What we received was an underwhelming, incomplete review that we had to beg to be made public. It raised more questions than answer, and the fact that the second review that they did continues to be withheld from students and parents, and it's approximately 2 years now, raises even more red flags. The fact that this and other information continues to be withheld, even though we were told we would have full access, continues to be disturbing. We thought lessons would have been learned, yet in 2020, the Public School Board has been ordered to pay $50,000 after pleading guilty to 2 health and safety infractions involving asbestos at another school. That they describe as being a misstep. To date, no fines or penalties have been issued for the Three Oaks Senior High School breaches. And as many of you know, dealing with the government can be difficult. When the government dismissed parents, we rallied and we formed a parent and student group, and it helped, gave each other support. The government said I was being difficult by asking too many questions, so I continued to expose the truth. When the government continued to withhold information, I will continue to look for accountability. When they shut down communications, I reached out to asbestos experts and warriors from around the world. When they intimidated me, I took a deep breath in and I believed in what I was doing. Moving forward is difficult. It's scary. There's many unknowns, there's no guarantees, but lessons can be learned. And I have a new purpose now as being an asbestos warrior. My purpose is to continue to collect information, build a solid foundation of data for the Three Oaks Senior High School students to use in the future, if need be. I'm continuously trying to improve awareness and education about the dangers of asbestos exposure, especially in schools. There's much more work to be done in our province. Lessons can be learned to make productive educational changes that will protect everyone. Prevention is key. Concerning the Three Oaks Senior High School registry, I will continue to push for improvements. All students and staff deserve to have peace of mind and coverage. Canada banned asbestos in December 2018 with the help of people from around the world, especially people like ADAO. So now it's our turn to return the favor and support their fight to ban asbestos with the Alan Reinstein Ban Asbestos Now Act of 2022. I would like to extend my appreciation to Linda, ADAO, and all the sponsors of the invitation to share and work in session 3 about preventing asbestos. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toby.
You're welcome.
We certainly appreciate your insight and the work that you're doing, and we appreciate you being here today to present to us.